Hello everybody, welcome to lesson 5. We're fair getting through this week. So we're in week 4, lesson 5, continuing on from lesson 4. And because we're continuing on, we're always going to recap on the last lesson and hope that you see what you've learned and what you need to learn from. So we're going to check over and learn from our last lesson, which was lesson 4. We're going to check and change the work from the last lesson. So you were asked in the first task yesterday to describe one method you use to monitor your development in the mental factor in softball. This was for 4 marks and you were to choose the online training diary. So you were just to describe how you used how you completed the online training diary. Here's the answer below, and this is all just a description of what happened. Who did it, when you did it, how you did it, where you did it. Okay, so look at this, read through it, and check and change your answer. If you didn't even get it right at all, add that answer in and know now that when you're describing the method you use to monitor, you're just describing the method. You're not talking about using it to monitor, you're just describing the method. So pause the video here before I move on. Welcome back everybody. I'm moving on to the next slide. The second question in the last task was describe how you monitored progress using another method. So you could have used the SCAT test, you could have used the focus and concentration test, and you could have used the roles and responsibilities questionnaire. I've just said SCAT here, so that doesn't matter. So if you said any of those names, that's fine. So this is the answer to that one. You could also use Midway Testing to monitor, I don't know why it says 8 your performance, but it does, to monitor your performance. This involves completing the SCAT test or the focus and concentration test or the roles and responsibilities test, doesn't matter what you said there, again halfway through. Again, halfway through. So you're halfway through your development. We're going to do it again, but this is what you're halfway through. You're doing midway testing. That's your 1 mark. Involves using the SCAT test, completing it again halfway through, and comparing it to your original score to see if you're improving and or if it's now a strength, and that's your 2nd mark. Because when you're describing how you monitored, what the SQA are looking for, it's the time frame. So I did it halfway through again in the same way, and then for the 2nd mark they're looking for you to say you compared, you checked, or words to those effect, to the other method to see if it's now a strength or a weakness. So those were the 2 clear differences between those 2 questions. The first one is describing the method you used, the second one is describing how you monitored, and that's how we describe monitoring. We look for time frame and we talk about comparison, checking, comparing, etc. So stop here, check and change your answer and make sure you understand it, but don't add 8 into it. I must have been hungry at the time when I typed this. Okay, moving on. So today's learning intention, now that we've went over and recapped our work, it's always good to go over our work that we've just done, is by the end of the lesson, I will have redone some or all of my mental, emotional, social development approaches. So this is the last time we're going to use them. This is the last time we're going to do them, and please do them or you're not going to be able to do your work in a realistic and relevant way for you in the next lesson. So, task. Based on your training diary entries, which I've put in Teams, so go into Teams and look at that spreadsheet, you all need to redo or go over some or all of your development approaches. So we're all going to do that. So I've looked at your training diary entries and I think we still need to do a little bit more. We can't end the tasks here. You might have seen improvements in your midway tests when you've used them to monitor in the last lesson, but your training diary didn't suggest that as much for everybody, but it's always good to continue and we'll just get them into our head again. So I want you to do that for the rest of the lesson today. I want you to redo your breathing exercise for the mental factor. I want you to redo centering, and I want you to go over whatever you wrote down for investigating model performers. Okay, so make sure you do it because it's going to help you to realistically evaluate in tomorrow's lesson. So that's all you've got to do today, is do these again, get more experience of them. It's going to make it more memorable for you, and it's going to be more realistic for you when you're evaluating them tomorrow. Thanks everyone.